Hello, hello. Okay, I can't believe I'm live. I haven't been live in forever. Just me. It's been Laura, and then I went live at the beginning of November, but I don't think I've been live since. So I'm just making sure my team that we're good. I just need to see comments or something to know we're good and live everywhere just because it has been a while and I know they changed everything. So just double checking, and then we're going to get going because I have a lot to cover today. I spent the last couple of days really prepping for this. I know that manifestation weeks are pretty amazing. So let me see. No one's getting back to me, so hold on. So let's see. Okay. Usually I wait for someone to comment. Okay, good. Thank you, team. All right. So these weeks are pretty impressive. Very, very amazing weeks, which is called the Manifestation Real Estate Success Weeks. And I wanted to title it because I knew that I was going to be the one to handle it. Good morning, Gina. I wanted to title it something that was very me. And so a lot of the books that I read um, call women like the badasses and the entrepreneurs of the world and really just like the backbone. And so this week we're talking about manifesting real estate success like a total badass. And we are giving out the badass raffle that everyone loves and all of that too. And I tell people all the time, I say, your success has nothing to do with the tips and the tools and the strategies and all that. Your success has everything to do with what's going on and what you are telling yourself. So what's going on inside your mind and what you're telling yourself. I have seen people, I went to this event where these people were making billions of dollars in real estate and none of them have even graduated high school. But the difference was is how they spoke to themselves, how they talked to themselves, and what they were bringing to the table, regardless of what their education status was. So, what if I told you that the key to success in real estate, it doesn't lie in strategies or skills, but it lies in your mindset of gratitude? So, with Thanksgiving coming up, we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about what's going to shift and how you can take your mindset and your gratitude for the life you currently have to propel yourself forward. Okay. So, your superpower is gratitude. How you show up, how you think what you currently have, what you're doing is gratitude. And then, as you are in that state of gratitude, you can also understand and know that what you want is possible, right? And you are allowed to have what you want. You're allowed to do what you want in this world and to be thankful for that. That whatever you dream, you can pursue in this country, in this world right now. Okay. So I want you to remind yourself and bring it back to gratitude. Bring it back to thank you. Thank you for letting me live in a place where what I want to do is possible and I am able to do it and no one and nothing can stop me. Okay. So I want you to bring that because what gratitude does is it creates this positive energy that really attracts more opportunities for you. Okay. So it attracts more opportunities. It's the universe's way of rewarding you because you're grateful for what you currently have. And it will build this resilience that you can go through anything, no matter if your current season is great or not. So think about like when you're really struggling, instead of thinking about everything that's going wrong. Like I'll get on the phone with some friends and they'll just talk about everything that's going wrong in their life. And I will sometimes be like, well, what's going right? Right? Because when you focus on everything that's going wrong, or even with real estate, if you focus on what's hard, the challenging deals, the fluctuation in the market, the election and what have you, the inflation, all you're doing is creating barriers from you to move forward. But instead, if you focus on what's going right, what could change, what policies may come into place, or what have you, then you start seeing that it's not as hard as you're making it out inside your mind. Okay. And so when you're not going through the greatest season, it's really easy to focus on everything that's wrong. And I was telling my students this on Tuesday because we were working on different things during our session. And I said, it's easy to figure out what you don't want out of life, right? I don't want this. I don't want to end up like this person. I don't want to show up like this. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to go days without eating. I don't want this, this, and this. But it's not as easy to really figure out what you want and why do you want it, right? So what gratitude does is it brings you back to what you currently have, and it gives you that time to build this resilience so that when you do manifest what you really want in life, what you really are craving for, it's going to happen for you. And you're going to be able to handle it. And you're going to be so grateful for it. And you're going to grow and you're going to be really happy while staying humble. Okay. So, real quick, a little side note. I see my team commenting. If you want to be entered into the raffle, which is the You Are the Baddest raffle, all we ask is that you comment. Every comment is an entry. My team keeps track. And then when I tell them to pull the raffle, we'll bring it back. All right. So I want you to kind of focus on that. And I really want you to not only stay stuck in your current season, good or bad. So you bring it back, you focus on it, but then you figure out, what do I want to do? What do I really want out of life? And now we are in the holiday season. And this can either be a really joyful or experience, or it's stressful for some people, or it's a mix of both. And so bringing the gratitude back in, like, hey, I got to buy all these gifts for people, but I'm grateful that I have the money to do so. Or, hey, maybe I can't afford to buy all these gifts for people, but I'm grateful that I even get to have that time with them, because time is so short, right? Like, I have dealt with a few deaths this year that were very, very sudden, of people my age. Okay. One just dropped dead, not kidding, had a seizure and died right there on the bathroom floor. And he was my age. Things like this happens. And so instead, you stay grateful, you stay in the moment, and you stay grateful for what you have and who you get to spend that time with. Now, if you spend holidays alone, maybe you break it down to, I'm grateful that I like my own company, or I'm grateful that I like being in my house, right? So my first Christmas without Hunter, it was really hard when he went to his dad's, but I just stayed in a moment of, this is temporary, this is only a season, he will be back, it is just Christmas, you will be okay. Because the Christmas is probably my favorite time of the year. If anyone knows me, my whole house looks like Santa threw up. And so staying in that gratefulness will help you get through, because focusing on anything negative, it's not really going to do much for you there. Okay. So I want you to start with a gratitude journal. So I like to give actionable exercises that you can do. So I've bought 3 of these. Okay. So you've seen this before. It's because I like the way this journal is set up. It's just blank, but I don't know. I like it. So you can see how well worn this is. It's one for every year, and we're at the end of November. And what you do is you can go in and just start writing what you're grateful for every single morning. And one thing that I challenge myself to do is I try to do it over and over and over. Okay. So I try not to write things over and over and over. And so every morning I write things. Now you can start with like 3 things that are going right, 3 things that you are grateful for that are related to maybe progress that you're having. All right. So you want to write down what you're grateful for. Okay. I get this off Etsy, by the way, if anyone's asking. I got it from a boutique, and then they stopped selling it, and I went on and found it on Etsy. All right. So focus on what you're grateful for. Write it down every single day. Oh no, it's just a gratitude journal. It just says grateful. Oh my gosh, it's like rubbed off. Grateful, or gratitude changes everything. 365 days of gratitude journaling. And I'll go to the end. See, look, like it's full. Hold on, let me get all the way to the end. But it's blank. And it has like the same 2 quotes at the beginning, but it gives you like a part to date and write. And I don't know. I like it. Anyway, so I want you to write this, write what you're grateful for every day. The next thing is visualizing. Now, people don't believe this, but I manifested my last house that's on the market right now, because but before, I lived in a really small apartment, not in the best part of town. And I visualized like crazy that I was going to have this certain type of house. And this house was going to be like tan. It was going to be on the water. I mean, I visualized to the point that when I walked through the front door, I could see all the way through the back door, and there was a pool and water. Okay. And then in 2020, I bought this house, and this house was in Cape Coral, Florida. And it was um it was a house where you walked in, and what do you think happened? All the way through it, the whole back half of the house was sliding doors. There was a pool, and I lived on a canal because Cape Coral has little Venice canals. And in December of 2020, I was doing a virtual real estate investing women's retreat because of COVID. And Laura said, you should share your house. And while I was out there, I had broke down crying on this with hundreds of women on, because I had realized I had manifested something that I begged for when nothing was going right. When I was trying to really be in a poor part of my life where I was trying to make myself better. So I was visualizing a better reality than what I was currently in. Okay. And my current reality was I was not in a great place to live. I wasn't eating because I was making sure my son could, and we couldn't afford food for both of us. So I would go days without eating. I was highly, highly in debt. I had just gone through a divorce. I was suffering from severe panic attacks and anxiety. So I was really struggling. And so, what I started doing without even realizing what I was doing was I started visualizing success. I started visualizing what my day would be like. And so, for you, I want you to close your eyes, a little bit every day, and imagine yourself a year from now or 10 years from now, whatever works for you, and thank your future self for the wins you've achieved. And I made this in a post the other day where I said, I thank my past self for not giving up on me, for going after everything, for showing up and really showing up for myself. And there are days I don't show up for myself, but there are a lot more days where I did. And that person became who I am now. And this person's going to become who I become in the future, right? So I want you to start doing that. I want you for real 1 second. If you're driving, don't close your eyes, okay? I want you to close your eyes or just in general daydream and picture your perfect day as a real estate investor. Because when you can picture it, you can start manifesting it. So I want you to picture your perfect day as a real estate investor, your most successful day, you at your highest self. Picture this successful deal closing. Feel the satisfaction and abundance that you're feeling. How does that feel? How does that show up? Right? Because I'm in the process of closing one of my biggest deals to date, right? I haven't posted about it yet. It needs to close first. But I'm in the process of closing one of my biggest real estate transactions to date. And this was something I started manifesting when I found one of my coaches closed a similar amount. And I said, this is what I want. I want a 6-figure real estate deal, but high 6 figures. So not low 6 figures. I wanted a high 6-figure deal. So I started manifesting. What does that feel like? How do I need to show up? Where do I need to go? Because what will happen is when you start visualizing it, you can start making decisions that align towards your ultimate goal. Okay. So in the morning, I want you to do this every day, is to visualize how your perfect day is going to go. And then throughout the day, you're going to take actions that match your highest self. Okay. Then at night, you're going to reflect on how you spent your day. And there's two ways this can go. You can lay in bed and think, I didn't show up as my highest self. I didn't allow myself to be uncomfortable for a few minutes to get myself ahead. Or you can lie in bed and say, I did the uncomfortable. I moved the needle forward just a little bit, and I'm doing the steps it takes to make me that high self that I envision for myself. Because here's the thing, every single one of you has the ability to do this. It does not matter if you are what your race is. It does not matter what accents you have. I mean, have you met Laura? It does not matter your age. It does not matter your capabilities. All you have to do is believe. So at the end of the day, when you reflect, how do you show up? How did you show up that day? And if you did not show up to your fullest, don't what's the word I'm trying to think? Beat yourself down. Don't do that. Just learn from it so that you can do better the next day. It's like how you learn with dieting, right? You're going to make mistakes, but don't let that ruin the rest of this time that's going to pass anyway. Okay. So I want you to do that. So in the morning, you're going to do that. During the day, as you take these actions that align, it's not always going to feel exciting. It's going to feel scary. It's going to take courage. It's going to take really moving in alignment with who you are. So I want you to speak affirmations to yourself. I attract profitable deals. This comes to me easily and effortlessly. I have what it takes. If she can do it, I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it. Start saying nicer things to yourself, because if you're just doubting yourself, this is going to be hard. No, I can't figure this out. It must not be meant for me. No, this is harder for me because of this, this, and this, or my past, or who I am. That's excuses. That's reasons you're telling yourself. I tell my students sometimes, I'm like, sometimes you're just looking for reasons for this not to work. You want to prove yourself right that this isn't going to work for you. So you start looking for it. There's always going to be reasons this won't work for you, but there's also always going to be reasons this can. So I really want you to remember that. So let's break down those limiting beliefs. Maybe it's, I don't have enough resources to start. Success is only for people who have experience. People who have experience once didn't have experience. It's not like I came out of the womb doing real estate. Okay. It's not like Laura did either. It's not like we were born into real estate, right? This is something that took time. My coach said it once at a retreat, and I loved it. Every successful investor had to start with their first deal, right? And so you have a say in how you think about yourself. You have a say. I was listening to Amanda Francis, and she said this. She says you have a say in how you think about yourself. So remind yourself of that. I have a say in how I think about myself. And I was talking to a friend of mine the other night because her parents were really putting her down. And I said, does it matter? I was like, do you want their life? Do you want to be the kind of parent they are? Because they were getting on her parenting. Then I said, then why are you taking what they say as hardcore evidence? Don't take advice from people that you don't want their kind of life, that you don't want to live the life that they're having and said advice, whatever it is. And so understanding that you have a say in how you think about yourself. Do you want to be a total badass? Well, then why not be a badass? Why not show up as a badass? Why not get ready as a badass? Why not think as a badass? There's a reason I say all the time, I am a badass manifestation queen. And all of the students, or if you've been seeing my affirmations in the Facebook group every day, I repeat it quite often because you are. And so if you say it to yourself, you'll start believing it. I'm like, come on. Like when I get really to a point where I doubt myself, I'm like, have you should see the house I'm in now. Like, who the heck? I started from nothing. I started from negative nothing. Like, I literally couldn't get more negative in my bank account. Like, you can build anything you set your mind to. You could become a badass investor. You can be the women that you look up to. You can have the family that you want. It doesn't matter. I've seen people with like a 1% chance of having kids have kids, or even people that were told they will never have children have children. Why? Because they started believing it was possible for them. They didn't take what people were saying negatively. So let's apply it to real estate. Why can't you? Do you see the most successful investors are in some of the most competitive markets, right? And they're not eating up everything. Everyone needs a home, and not everyone's going to like them. So I want you to really think about that. Don't worry, I'm reading the comments. I'm loving it. Keep it going. I will come back and address some of them. All right. So I want you to do that. So you have a say. So how about instead of identifying and sitting by a limiting belief, let's reframe your beliefs. Okay. So I want you to write down, maybe not today, but think about it. Write down something you're telling yourself. So, like Shelly, I have a fear of messing up. How can you turn that around? So I can handle the mistakes as they happen. And what you're going to find is you're going to learn so much more by making mistakes than not even trying at all to give yourself an option to make mistakes. And what you're going to find is that you're going to see more success because of the mistakes you made than the success that wouldn't have ever come because you didn't even try. Laura paid in her first 8 years $1 million in lawyer fees. She has the receipts and everything. It's kind of insane. And I said, but you had to. You had to do that to become the coach you are today. That's why you can solve every weird nuance that happens to investors that they come across and they're asking her for help, because she had to figure it out. She had to be willing to make the mistakes. Okay. So let's say you can't handle big investments. That's what you're telling yourself. What about, I am capable of managing successful real estate investments? I am capable of doing the hard things. And maybe you don't even have to word it hard, because it doesn't have to be hard. That is your reality. That's what you're thinking. So, like on a webinar, and I reference this a lot because it showed me my growth. On a webinar, at the beginning of this year, someone told me that I had lost touch with reality, that I don't know what it's like to be broke. And I replied to her in a way elegant way than I wanted to, but I just said, I was like, well, no, because I told you at the beginning of this webinar, I started from nothing. I lost 50 pounds in 3 months because I couldn't eat. I had lived in a place where I couldn't walk outside at night. I had suffered from panic attacks. My reality shifted as my mind shifted, as I started attracting success, as I started showing up as a real estate investor and then became a real estate investor. Then yeah, my reality has shifted. I had to work hard to shift my reality. And I've seen people who have no money that are the happiest people in the world, that feel like they have it all. Why? Because they create that reality. They believe in that. Think about the people that you walk around that you know have not a lot but are so happy. Why? Because they stay in that mindset of happiness. They stay in choosing to create that reality for them. So if you want to manifest and be a real estate investor and you want to be successful, start creating the reality that you already are. You're already successful. You're already a badass. Because just the idea that you have it, just the fact that you have the idea in your head means you already know what you're doing. You can do it. It's there for a reason. It's placed in your heart for a reason. God gave it to you for a reason. He gave it to you, as Laura says, your lottery ticket to success. You wanted money. He showed you real estate investing. So bringing that in and understanding that and seeing that challenges are just opportunities to grow. They're just opportunities to become your best self. They're just opportunities to experience massive growth. I'm going to tell you, I've had very hard years throughout all this. And maybe it wasn't monetarily, but it was mentally. And you know what came after the hard years? Some of the best years of my life, right? Like 2023 was after a very hard 2022. But 2023, if you were following me, I was traveling all over the world showing you how to do this virtually because I started living. So I want you to remember that. So some things is, we are coming up on the new year. So let's create vision boards. So usually in January, I do what's considered a vision board party. And I'm going to set it up for you all to join me. And we're going to do a vision board party. And what you're going to find is we're going to do an exercise first, and then you're going to create your vision board around this. Okay. And this is going to include your dreams. This is going to include your financial goals and your motivational quotes. And I want you to place it somewhere that you see it every day. So like my vision board goes behind my desk. So I'm in the middle of my room right now. There's the vision board behind the computer. You want to do the same thing. You want to do it where you see it and you remind yourself. And throughout the years, your vision board is going to shift and it's going to get more crazier. And it's going to get to a point where you're like, holy crap, I'm doing this. Save your old vision boards. I save all my own ones. Okay. So I want you to start doing that. The other thing is I want you to start repeating affirmations to yourself every single day. The number one affirmation that I want you to start repeating is that I am a successful real estate investor and I attract opportunities everywhere I go. Okay? So I want you to start repeating that. I am a successful real estate investor and I attract opportunities everywhere I go. I was telling my students that I was sitting in the hair salon last Friday. Okay? And I was talking about this deal that I'm trying to close. I was talking about how the buyer's being nitpicky. And I was talking to my hairdresser about it. And there's only one other set of like people in the room. It's the next hairdresser and the woman that she's doing. And she turns to me, even though this lady's trying to do her hair. And she's like, what do you do? And I said, I'm a real estate investor. I don't say I'm a real estate investor coach either. Like, I don't throw that in. I just say I'm a real estate investor. I don't mention that I coach to anyone. And she was like, I've been thinking of moving. I was going to call an agent tomorrow. Can I have your card? And I said, yes, but I'm not licensed. Like, I do this off market and all of that. And she's like, that's even better. She's like, I really didn't want to work with an agent. And so then I called her on my way to Disney on Saturday morning, and we are going to move forward. And then she has friends too who want to sell. She asked if I did condos. I said only in certain areas, and we were able to move forward. Talk about what you do to other people, right? I'm a real estate investor. I invest in properties. You can do the same thing. Does that mean you've done a deal yet? Maybe in your case not, but eventually you will. But you saying, I'm new, I haven't done deals yet, things like that, that's not a productive conversation to have. Just own it, okay? Own it every day. I've done this since the very start. I still do it today. You own it, okay? So I want you to do that. The other thing is, I want you to say that money flows to me easily and effortlessly. This is something I repeat to myself every single day. Yes, Erica, there you go. Every single day, because it does. I tell people all the time, I don't really work hard for my deals. You build a life where eventually it starts coming to you. So, like me having conversations, me just telling them I'm an investor. I don't try to hide it. I don't try to sound any weird. Even when I'm dating, I say I'm a real estate investor, even if it turns around to people being like, oh, you make money, right? But you just start saying that. You just start owning it and have no fear. Tell your friends, tell your family. Who cares? The most successful people invest in real estate. Like, it's not the weirdest thing if you're working and you tell them you're also investing in real estate. That's a normal thing to do. People own rentals. So, doing that. And the last thing is saying that I am worthy of success and abundance, because you are worthy. There's nothing you have to do or be or show up as to be worthy. You just are. And when you believe that, because we always feel like we have to do something to get something, that's not true. You just have to believe you're worthy of it. That's the very first step to success, is believing that you can even have it. Because if you're trying to tell yourself that you're not capable of having it, what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to have it. You're not going to feel capable, so you're going to talk yourself out of doing the steps. But if you start feeling worthy of it, if you start showing up as somebody that's worthy of it, who is worthy of it, and you start becoming a person that is worthy of it, right? Because you already are, but you start really showing up and becoming that person, you're going to have more success. You're going to see things change. So when I was in that bathroom crying on the bathroom floor, trying to figure out what kind of life I wanted, I also had to start realizing that that life was possible for me. Is this landing with everyone? I hope this is helping, because I'm going on some tangents here. I have like my bullet points, but I keep going off, so I have to bring it back. So I hope that this helps. So next is writing down your goals. So you need to pick 3 to 5 goals that you want to accomplish in the next year. And we're not starting on New Year's. We're starting now, so that by New Year's we're starting already to see the fruition of our manifestations coming to life. Don't wait for January 1st. Start now. What's today's date? The 21st of November. Start today to manifest, so that by January 1st, you're already in the habits, you're already taking action of someone who is already having the life, so that by this time next year, you have or are very close to the life that you're dreaming of. Okay? So I want you to start 3 to 5. I don't want 10. I don't want 15. Get very specific. If you could even narrow it to 3 goals that you want to meet in the next year, starting today. Today's your January 1st. What are the goals for you? When you do that and you write those goals, you're going to do what we call reverse engineering. You're going to start going backwards. So you want to break them into smaller, actionable steps. So if I need to make $25,000, $30,000 a month in 1 year from now, how many deals do I need to do depending on my strategy? And if you go to any of our events, we talk about this. We show you how to break it down and engineer your success, because you can build your life, but you have to be the one that's in control of it. You have to be the one who is designing your own life. You're in control of your life design. You're in control of your reality. So I want you to break that down. And then as you're doing that, I want you to start celebrating every win that you have done in that momentum. Because if you're being consistent with what you're doing, what will happen is you will create traction. That traction will create the momentum. That momentum will create the confidence. And that confidence is what is going to make you a badass at real estate. And that's where that success comes in. Understood? The last part of this that I want to cover is I want you to trust the process. When people decide to get into real estate, I see a few different things that happen, but one of the biggest things I see is like their whole world goes into chaos, and this actually terrifies them and they back out. And I said, no, your world needs to go into chaos, because once you decide that you're going to do this, things need to clear out, things need to shift for you to have the life that you're wanting. And if you already had the ability to have that life, right? Like if you already had everything set up, you would already have that life. So instead, what it's going to do is going to remove things from your life. It's going to start changing how you think. You're going to start showing up. There are two things you can do here. You can back out and not have that dream life, not have the life that you believe is possible for you. But if you back out and revert to old ways, that's what's going to happen. Or you can stick on the path and trust the process, right? And end up at your end goal, right? So, one thing to do is you have to release the need to control the outcome. You know what the outcome is, right? I think I have my quote on today. Predict your future. It's on there. You can't see. I know. I'm trying to figure out how to get it darker for you guys. But I put on affirmations. This one says predict your future by creating it. I put it on Monday. So in order to predict your future, you have to create that future. So you need to show up. So you have to release the need to control how things are going to work for you. You just have to believe it's going to work for you. Then what you're going to do is you're going to start trusting that the effort you're making consistently, okay, consistently, and the positivity that you're keeping with it will yield results. The issue is a lot of investors aren't consistent. And I'm calling you investors even if you haven't done deals. So my newbie ladies, my ladies who have been in a while and haven't done deals, it's because you lack consistency. You don't lack capability. You lack consistency. The ladies who I talk to who have been in the program haven't done anything. Why? Because they're not consistent in their efforts. Or they're not showing up and they're not asking questions. So they stay stuck, which again creates a lack of consistency. Do something every single day. I talk, do, breathe real estate. Literally breathe it. I look at homes for no reason in other areas that I probably will never live in. And not because I can't have it, because I know I can, but because I just like to look at them. I just like to look at them. I do the crazy. I take on projects that are massive. I take on problem homes. I do all of it because it gets me to my goal. I love real estate. I breathe it. Ask my family. I talk about it all the time. My stepdad gets so annoyed because when my mom and I get together, what do you think we're doing? Talking real estate, talking REIW, talking life, and it all revolves about it. We go down the canals. We're looking at the big homes. We're manifesting the big homes. We're doing what we want to do, right? So you have to release the need to control the outcome. You have to get consistent, and you have to reframe your fear around the tasks that you need to do. You have to turn like your roadblocks, for example, fear of failure, to stepping stones for growth. Okay? So remember that. The last thing I would say is you have to give yourself some credit. And my students know I say this all the time. Just taking the leap, just listening to this live should give yourself some credit. This live showed up for a reason. You listen to this long ass 34-minute live right now for a reason. You agreed to doing it. You're going into real estate. You're manifesting. You're scaling. Just even thinking about having a better life should give you credit. Start giving yourself credit where credit is due. Give yourself credit for trying something new. For my ladies who are doing deals, because I see some of you on Give yourself credit for the fact that you even started and now you are where you are. Give yourself credit for not knowing what ARV is, which is actual repair value or after repair value. Give yourself credit for knowing it, right? Some of you have learned so much just by educating yourself. So, the last thing I'll leave you with here is that manifestation, it isn't a magic. It's not some magic thing that happens to you. Manifestation is a deliberate process. I wrote this out because I wanted to say it properly. Is a deliberate process of aligning your mindset, your actions, and your energies to your goal, your ultimate goal. So if you can get your mindset into alignment, you can start taking actions that align with that, with your vision. You can start keying and really like what's the word I'm looking for? I'm like blanking today. Really hyper focusing your energy into your goals and you will start seeing success. Manifestation doesn't just happen despite what everyone says. You have the belief and then you have to put the action behind it. So, with that being said, I have a 5-day masterclass at the beginning of December. It's in 2 weeks. Okay? That's coming up. This has been changed up to match what's currently going on with new policies that will be coming in and all of that. We cover wholesaling, rentals, and flips. You can be new, you could be super advanced. You are all welcome. Students, you're welcome. Everyone's welcome. We do focus on mindset. We do focus on overcoming barriers. We do focus on helping you get over the fear of failure, fear of making mistakes, fear of success. Because a lot of you, it's not fear of failure, it's fear of actually becoming successful. How is your life going to change? Is it going to create more issues for you? Is it going to solve more issues for you? Are you going to lose people on the way because you keep hearing it's lonely at the top? People have that. What if I can't handle the success? What if I build it? Which is a really good problem to have if you have so much success you can't handle it. But again, you become the person who can handle it through the mistakes, the learning, and everything. So if you want to attend, my team is going to put the link here in the chat. I would love to have you. I would love to work with you. I love working with my students. I love hanging out with them. I love getting to see their lives change. I love getting to see their kids' lives change because of their moms' lives are changing. You get to put yourself on a path of success. Thank you, Gina. You're very sweet. She says, take the masterclass. You will learn so much. Thank you. And then what I want you to do is if you're able to join, it's $7. I mean, we lowered it. It used to be 27. We lowered it. It's $7 to join. I want everyone to have access to it. I want everyone to have access to the right information. The other thing that I want you to do is I want you to start journaling every day what you're grateful for. If you don't have time to journal, like you woke up late, say it in the car, say it on the way. Say what you have to do. Hunter and I say affirmations every day. I have him repeat affirmations. I want you to start saying affirmations. And one of the things that his teachers have told me over the years is that the way he talks about himself is very positive. When he's struggling, he's like, it's okay, I'll get this. It's okay, I understand. It's okay, right? Like he says it all the time, like, I'm capable of this, I know. And on the days that he says, I can't do this, what do you think I'm doing? Refueling him. You have to do the same thing for yourself. You have to have the same type of energy you would give to your kid or a family member or your friend. Treat yourself the same way, because here's the thing, you would never beat up your kid or your friend, and you would never allow them to talk negatively about themselves. Not if you really care about them. Don't do it for yourself. Care about yourself the same way. That's how you manifest success. Is how you treat yourself, right? So if you treat yourself well and you take care of yourself and you take care of yourself mentally, the rest will fall in line. The other thing is I want you to start thinking of what you want so that by the time January rolls around, you're already taking the actions towards it. We're not waiting till then. But when we do our vision party, you are very clear on the life that you want to lead, how you want to spend your days. What does she look like? How does she show up? For my ladies who are already having success in real estate, what does the higher version of you look like? How is she showing up? How many properties does she have in her portfolio? How many deals has she done? How many fix and flips? How is she paying it forward? Because here's the thing, I started as an investor. I still invest. I take that money. I reinvest. I donate to charities. I do other things with this money. And I keep building. Like I said, I have my largest deal is coming to close here soon. I'll post when it happens. um, and so I continue to invest. But what that investing also turned into was the love of changing other people's lives the way real estate changed mine. So I started coaching alongside Laura. We launched RAIW because we saw there was a need for women to have this kind of mindset to believe. Because if you can put the money in the hands of good people, more good things are going to happen. So then we created REIW. Then we started doing lunches. Then we started seeing a need. So then we started coaching master classes and webinars and workshops and nighttime events to reach more women. This turned into something bigger than me. It can turn into something bigger than you. And in the best way, you can, yes, I'm reading it now. I want my teen girls to know there is a different way and they can walk a different path of success. Turn it to them so that they can also believe that. Your daughters are going to see this, your sons are going to see this, and they don't have to have the same issues that we have, right? They don't have to live in that fear. And when you start making money, they start believing in abundance, right? Then you can start blessing others. Then your daughters or your children, your sons can start blessing others. They could start showing up for people. It's this like ripple effect. We called it the domino effect, I think a couple of months ago, of the success of real estate. But in order to even get to that point, you have to be willing to do the beginner steps. If you go back and look at old lives of mine, I was horrible at lives, but those lives showed up, and every live I do gets better. I'm doing in stuff that you could actually really go see the proof of, right? So every live, my first property that I ever marketed, the description, the way it was sent, the way I marketed is very different than how I do it now, the way I show up now. The first questions that were asked and how I responded versus how I showed now. You have to be willing to be new to become experienced, right? Thank you. So, I want you to remember that. And then this last quote I want to leave you with. The last thing you need to remember is that you are the architect of your destiny. Okay. You are the master of your fate. So if you continue to stay in gratitude, you continue to be bold, you will lead yourself into successful real estate. You will become the next person that you admire in real estate. Do not take advice from people that do not live this lifestyle. Do not talk to people who are not doing what you want to do in life. Just like you would not take advice from someone who is constantly in horrible relationships on how to navigate your good relationship that maybe is going through a little bit of a rough patch. You're not going to take advice from people who rent when you want to own, right? So you have to understand that if you want to be successful in real estate, talk to the people who are successful in real estate. Hang out with people who are successful in real estate, not the people who aren't doing deals. Talk to the people who are doing deals. If people struggle not doing deals, that's something inside them. That's their mindset. And I'm really working with my ladies to help them because you all have it possible. I don't take money from people that I don't think can do it in real estate. Actually, I turn away a lot of people that I don't think can make it. And I just tell them that I don't think we're a good fit because I believe in them. I want to make sure that you're successful. That's why I offer master classes at $7. Yeah, we have other programs. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. But that's why I offer. Team, if you can go ahead and pull the raffle, that would be fantastic. We're closing up. So if you want to join, that would be fantastic. I would love to know, for those of you that have listened, what is your biggest takeaway while I pull up the raffle? What are you going to do moving forward? And how is this going to shift for you? And then I hope today really showed you. I know it was long. I didn't expect it to go this long, but I should have known better knowing me in real estate or manifestation. But I want you to really, really start writing what you're grateful for and know that if it's in your heart, it's possible for you. You just have to get out of your own way. Okay. All right. So moving into this, if you have any questions for me, now is the time to ask. Let me see if I can fix this. I'm pretty sure I've tried to fix this before. Oh, there we go. So I'm giving out a raffle today, and it's called Manifesting Real Estate Success Like a Total Badass. And this is from Jen Sincero. It's the You're a Badass collection. It comes with a gratitude journal, so you can get going. It comes with this manifestation toolkit. It has like a badass button, a badass mini book, and I can't see everything. I think that's a calendar too with like a reminder. So you get all of this, and all you had to do was be on and comment today. That's all. That's all you had to do is to attend our lives. We're not going to be live next week in the honor of Thanksgiving. So we are doing a little bit different than our norm on our social media. So stay tuned because you're going to see my team is coming out on some of it too. They're going to come and be able to share a little bit of their lives with you. So you get to meet my behind the scenes ladies. And so you'll get that as well. But this winter, all you have to do is email in within a week. We'll get it shipped out to you as soon as possible. You do not have to be live to claim. You just have to email within a week. But our winner is Jeannie Glass. She wins a lot of raffles. That's awesome. Congratulations, Jeannie. You are more than capable. Oh, Mary, I'm glad I found you too. Shift negative thinking to positive messages, reframe negative thinking about myself and abilities, journal, manifest with action. Correct. Aim for consistency. Yes. I want so badly to be able to give back to people and organizations that have helped my family in my struggle. Yes. The best feeling in the world when you start seeing money come in is being able to pay back the people that took care of you and then some. So, like, I went from being the broke friend to the richest friend. And I was able to pay for trips. And I was able to take care of my friends who took care of me in Hunter when I had no money, when I couldn't afford diapers. They would take us out to eat and all of that. And the best feeling in the world was to become the rich friend and pay it back to them tenfold, to take them on trips, to be able to do things for them, to give them money when they had their own struggle, right? To be able to show up, to be able to fly in last minute because they needed me, right? So you can be able to bless people. Like Lori says, I want to be blessed to be a blessing. Yes. And so you get to have that ability. So, all right, I'm going to get off here. Congratulations, Jeannie. And the rest of you just remember, everything is going to be okay. For this next week, for the week of Thanksgiving, check the group. I have my team has really curated some really cute stuff for you. With like obviously me helping, but they came up with some stuff where you could actually get to know a little bit about my team through the month, because without them, REIW would not be possible. They really help REIW move forward. They get us all set up so that we can show up and be live for you guys and show up for you all. So you'll get to learn about my team. I wanted to do something different during the week of Thanksgiving with us not going live. But even then, I want you to take time every day to really just focus on what you're grateful for, because there's so much to be thankful for. There's so much that could have gone wrong. Your life could be a lot worse, believe it or not, even if some of you are in a hard place. So, okay, I'm going to get off here, but I hope that this was helpful. And if you feel like this would benefit someone else, please share this to someone else so that they too can hear and listen and know that it's possible for them. The best thing I could ask is that you just share it with a few people that you feel could really need to hear this. And thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. And then I'm pretty sure we start the masterclass like shortly after that. I'm blanking on the days, but that's because I spent more time prepping for this than I was focusing on dates and things like that. But I hope you all have a wonderful day. And